Today I'm adding some much needed organization to my garage by building these sturdy built-in shelves using wire platforms to fight dust buildup. Stick around to see how it turned out and maybe steal some ideas for your own garage. First, I marked the wall where I wanted the top of the middle shelf to sit. A straight, level line is key here unless you're into having uneven shelves. The bottom and the middle shelf are 18 inches tall with a third one on top. I break down my lumber to 90 inches for the long edges, and I would have kept these at the full 8 feet, but I have 2 outlets on my wall that I wanted the shelves to fit in between, thus I had to trim. Next, I can cut the brace pieces to join the front and back edges, building out the shelf. Now I highly recommend you use 2x3s for any garage shelves. It will just give you more usable storage space and they don't look so bulky compared to 2x4s. If a 2x4 can hold up the walls to your house, then a 2x3 should be more than strong enough to hold up a cooler, some gardening tools, and your wife's pair of rollerblades that she swore she would use, but now just collect dust. You know the ones. Anyway, the shelves are assembled with a pair of 2.5-inch construction screws at each joint, and since there is no such thing as a straight 2x, the clamps help align for the last brace piece to be attached. Here we have the top and the middle shelves assembled. I decided to paint the parts touching the wall first. It's way easier to do this now rather than when everything is installed. I cut a few spacers to rest the shelf on while aligning with my target mark and securing the shelf to the studs with 3-inch construction screws. I then slapped together the bottom shelf, which I had to make slightly more narrow to account for the knee wall. Next, I needed to trim some length off the wire rack to fit the shelf. If you keep your shelves at the full 8-foot length, then you don't need to do this step. I also need to trim some width off the wire rack for the bottom shelf because it is more narrow. And finally, I'm marking and notching out space for the vertical braces to hold up the front of the shelf. The braces are just secured with pocket screws, and once those are in place, I can move on to installing the bottom shelf. I saved the bottom shelf for last so I can cut the feet to size. Garage floors are sneaky in that they look flat, but typically they dive down towards the door to divert water out of the garage. This way, I can cut the feet near the door slightly longer to account for the slope and maintain a level shelf. With the feet in place, I can attach it to the top shelves. Now, I noticed there's more bounce to the shelf than I would like. For a quick fix, I added horizontal braces. At this point, it's always a good idea to check your diagonal measurements for square. Mine were off by about 1 inch, but a ratchet strap in my car as an anchor let me pull everything square again, and I secured the rest of the braces, which locked it all in place. I'm using outdoor grade paint here, and the color is called Blue Metal. These shelves are actually going to match the garage workbench that I built a couple years ago. I do have a video up of that build as well. You can check it out here if you like. Final step is locking the wire rack down with heavy-duty staples. And just like that, cleaner, sturdier garage shelves that won't budge. Thank you everyone for watching. If you are feeling inspired or just like the build, hit the subscribe button for me, and I'll see you on the next one.